In this video, we will look at a few examples that will allow us to practice working with ratios. In example A, it says, there are 12 girls and 15 boys in your math class. What is the ratio of girls to boys? So since we're talking about girls to boys, we're going to want to put girls first in our ratio. We could say the ratio is 12 over 15 because there are 12 girls and 15 boys, so the ratio of girls to boys is 12 over 15. We could also write this a different way. It'd be fine to write it with a colon like this, 12 to 15, or write it out in words, 12 to 15 like that. All right, in example B, simplify the following ratios. 7 feet to 14 inches, 9 meters to 900 centimeters, and 4 gallons to 16 gallons. So in order to simplify a ratio, the first thing that you need to check is that both parts of the ratio are in the same units. Otherwise, you can't simplify it. So for A, the two parts of our ratio are not in the same units, so you want to convert first. So what I'm going to do is multiply by a ratio that represents how many inches, 12 inches, in 1 foot. By doing this, I end up canceling out all of my units because a ratio doesn't really have units. It's just a comparison between numbers, so it doesn't have anything to do with what units they are. So by multiplying by the 12 inches for every 1 foot, I've now canceled out all my units, and I can reduce this in order to figure out my ratio. So multiply across 7 times 12, and you get 84 over 14, which reduces to 6 over 1. In this case, you want to leave it probably in the fraction, or you could write it like this, because it was talking about a ratio. If you just reduced it to 6, you would have lost the ratio. So the ratio is 6 to 1. For part B, we're talking about 9 meters to 900 centimeters. I'm going to start by rewriting it as a fraction because I think it's easier there to see what we're canceling out. And then I'm going to do my conversion that there are 100 centimeters in every 1 meter. That cancels out all my units. And now I can multiply everything out, and I get 900 over 900, which is really just 1 over 1. So the ratio is 1 to 1. In the last part, part C, both parts of my ratio are in gallons, so I don't need to do any conversion there. All I need to do, the gallons cancel each other out, and I can just reduce the fraction to 1 over 4 or 1 to 4, depending on how you want to write it. All right, let's go to example C. A talent show has dancers and singers. The ratio of dancers to singers is 3 to 2. There are 30 performers total. How many of each are there? So in this problem, it gives us the ratio and the total number of people. Even though it says the ratio is 3 to 2, that doesn't mean that there are 3 dancers and 2 singers because it's been reduced. If there were only 3 dancers and 2 singers, there would only be 5 people total. But it says that there are 30 people total. So what we can do is rewrite our 3 to 2 ratio as 3x over 2x, where 3x represents actually the total number of dancers, and we don't know what x is yet, and then 2x is the total number of singers. And notice that the ratio is still 3 to 2, even when you write it 3x over 2x, because technically the x's would cancel each other out. So what we know is if the total number of dancers is 3x and the total number of singers is 2x, 3x plus 2x must equal 30 because that's the total number of performers altogether. So that means 5x equals 30, so x equals 6. So that means I can go back over here and figure out actually how many dancers there are and how many singers there are. There were 3x dancers, so since x is 6, there are 3 times 6, or 18 dancers, and 2 times 6, or 12 singers.